Hi, so we're going to have a look at Tekki Shodan. I'm going to try and break it down into 3 blocks. So it's a change in approach from our katas hitherto, so from the Hyans, and this is the first of a series of 3 katas in the Tekki family, the Tekki series of katas. So this is Tekki number 1, Tekki Shodan, and this is where the emphasis is on the kibadachi stance, the straddle stance. It's knees out, feet in, and transitioning from one stance to the other with a stamping action, a fumikomi action at various points. So it requires a skillful transitioning step and the ability to maintain a solid basis, solid foundation for the upper body movement. So we're going to come to the legs shortly, but let's start with the upper body. So we're going to use Mawashi Enpyuchi. We're just going to practice that, do a few repetitions with the Mawashi Enpyuchi. So that's the round elbow strike. So we're going to start with our left hand out. I'll just move so you can see that. And first thing to bear in mind is the left arm must bend vigorously. So from the straight position, bends to 90 degrees. As you do that, you're going to drive your elbow into the hand. So we've come across that maneuver in Hyan Yondan, where we kicked, did a back fist, opened our hand and delivered the elbow strike. So this is the same. So we can practice some repetitions. Normal hikate here, hikate by your hip, left hand looking to the left elbow. Okay, let's just practice that on the right. So full stretch across the chest, the pectorals, the shoulders down, latissimus dorsi, the muscles at the side down, and this time the right arm will bend to 90 degrees. Vigorous pull, use your pulling muscles to do that. So your biceps going to be involved there, and you drive your elbow in to this position. So we could do some repetitions. So let's do 1, then let's prepare this side, 2, prepare this side, 3, prepare this side, 4. So Mawashi Empis, so they come into play in the kata quite significantly. The next component, the next key move is from the elbow position. You need to be snatching your fists down to your hip. Again, conventional hikate, right fist on top. So that position, again, we came across that position when we did our side kicks for the first time in Hyan Nidan, as we lifted, prepared before we delivered our back fist. The same in Hyan Yondan. So it's exactly the same position. But let's just practice that. So from here, bringing the fist down to the hip and head turns. So we can repeat from here, head, fists. From here, head and fist. From here, head and fist. From here, head and fist. So that wants to be a feeling of snatching your fist down, so very vigorously. So whether that's just a preparation for the next move, or whether you're training in such a way that would develop your ability to yank someone down and break their balance. So the concept of kazushi perhaps is coming into play. Kazushi means balance breaking techniques. So breaking someone's balance by yanking them downwards. So whatever your interpretation is, try and have a combative principle of functionality in your mind when you're practicing the kata. So the third thing to practice in this first section is going to be our Gedan Barai. Now this will come from this position. So normally we prepare our Gedan Barai from here, but in this particular kata we're going to do it directly from this position. So we're just going to make right Gedan Barai, swap over left, swap over right, swap over left. So far we've got the elbow strike, the snatching action. the Gedan Barai directly from that position at the side there. And now we want to introduce the Kagezuki. So this is a hook punch. So we place a lot of emphasis on the straight punch in our practice. The Chokazuki is a straight punching action, direct from A to B. We do that with our Kazamizuki, our Gyakuzuki, our Oizuki. So straight punches, but there's a whole host of other maneuvers with the fists to deliver punches and strikes. So we're familiar with our back fist strike. In Heian Shodan we had a hammer fist strike. And this is the first time in our kata that we're actually introduced to the hook punch. So this is coming from the side of the body and travelling around. The elbow stays behind the fist, so the elbow drives the fist. Just as it does if you were going forwards with the punch, the elbow is behind the fist as it travels in an arc towards the target. So let's just practice that. We're going to have our fists by our side and we're just going to practice. Start with the right. I'm going to look in the direction of the punch. So I'm just going to punch across. Look in the other direction, punch across. Look in the other direction, punch across. Look in the other direction and punch across. So there are building blocks for one of the major sequences in this kata. So we're just going to put that sequence together. We'll begin by having the right hand out. Fist at your hip, and I'd like you to make Mawashi Empiuchi. We're looking in that direction. Snatch down. Block and punch. So we go from here, look. Mawashi Empiuchi. Snatch down, block and punch. So you'll find that the punching action, the Kagezuki, is a little easier because you're actually using a bit of momentum on the other side of the body because you're in a blocking position, and you've got that as one side of your body zigs, the other side zags, as I always say. So that's quite helpful to generate power. So let's practice that again. From here, look. One, snatch down. At that point, you must look that way. So you're here, snatch down, block, and deliver. Let's go here. Elbow, snatch, block, and deliver. This way. Elbow, snatch, block, deliver. Elbow, snatch, block, deliver. So that little sequence in the kata is an important one. So let's just do that lightly in a sort of flowing action a couple of times. So from here, just standing in a natural stance, we're not in a kibidachi yet. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. Good. So that little sequence appears in the kata, and I'll show you how that interleaves with the other sequences that we have to be familiar with. So what I'd like to do now is consider the next little building block that we need to work on. So we'll start with an inside block. So just have your right fist out in the uchi-uki position. And what I'd like you to do from here is just bring it back to low waist. Sometimes that is, this position is a little higher. Some people do it by the chest. But for today, just about here. Your normal preparation for an uchi-uki, in fact. Not up there, not there, about there. So we're going from here, and I just want you to practice doing that with a single arm. Look, just that action. So it's back and in. So there's no opposite arm working at all. It's quite tricky to generate a little bit of power and bite to that technique. So we're just going to do a few of those. That feeling. Swap those over. So this is the left, so it's going to come back and out. Let's try it. That's good. That's good. And one more. Excellent. Good. And relax. So that single arm uchi-uki appears in the kata. Right. Next little component. Next little component. And this is all dealing with the next section in the kata. So what I'd like you to do is start with the uchi-uki position. And I want you to practice a gedan barai, but again, only using one side of the body. So just from here, I want you to block gedan barai. So there's a really quick preparation by your neck, and then that flows down. Let's try, just block. That's it. 2. And again, 3. And one more, 4. Okay, swap. Ready? So same idea. You start in the uchi-uki position, the inside forearm block position. We've got to prepare. Don't have your elbow up, elbow down, and make your gedan barai. Are you ready? So 1, good. 2, and this finishes in the normal position above your hip, in front of your hip, down here. And again, 3, 4. Try and be nice and smooth with it. 5. Yeah, fantastic. So we've got a single arm uchi-uki, a single arm gedan barai on both sides of the body. Excellent. So there's an unusual block, nigashi-uki. So this is being used to block something coming towards your face. Maybe a punch, and I'm blocking. Could be a kick. So it's protecting the head. And of course the head is a major target for opponents, whether that be competition, Shodan attacks, or whether it be in a situation of self-defense. People do like to punch you in the face, certain people. You know, the types that we have to be prepared for, those people who would assault people, criminals, violent individuals who want to attack other people. So they have a penchant for punching you in the head, so you need to be able to protect your head, protect that vulnerable target, that vulnerable major target. So have your fists on your hip, and we're just going to practice that action up to the side. So it finishes about there, about that sort of angle, and not too, certainly not there, not very, slightly bent. Good. Put it back, and we're going to do with same with the left. So look, I'm covering, I'm blocking. That's protecting my head. That's protecting my head. So there. Good. And there. And there. And there. Good. So we've got our nigashi-uki. So had the uchi, the gedan, the nigashi-uki. And what we're going to do now is practice another punching action. It's the urazuki. So in segment 1 we were looking at the kage-zuki, the hook punch. The urazuki is screwed in this direction. You're still hitting with the forefist, so the front of the knuckles. You're not hitting with the back of the knuckles. That would be uraken, sometimes pronounced uraken, uraken. This is urazuki, meaning that it's turned and the punch is coming in this direction. Okay, so in the kata, that blow is delivered after the nigashi. So it can of course come in from any preparation point or no preparation point. So it can be delivered from nowhere. Let's practice it as we need to do it in the kata from the nigashi. So you're here, we can put our other fist by our side and just drill that in to chin height. Swap and drill that one in to chin height. And swap and drill that one in to chin height. And last one and drill that one in. Good. There's one more manoeuvre, and I want again you to think of unbalancing an opponent. Imagine judo or wrestling, you're pulling someone in, unbalancing them to then throw them. So in standing judo, tachiwaza, throwing, you have to use kazushi, which is unbalance, in order to get yourself into the position to be able to throw somebody. So they're much easier to throw when they're unbalanced. You don't try and throw someone when they're in perfect balance. You've got to break their balance first. So from this position, have your fist out. I just want you to pull that in towards you as though you were pulling somebody. Really feel your chest working. So let's just do a few repetitions. Pull that in. So 90-degree bend. 90-degree bend. Let's swap over. Just do a few for me. Ready? 1. Good. 2. 3. 1 more. 4. Fantastic. So we're going to try and put that sequence together. So from here, look, we're going to start in that uchi-uki position, and we're going to go uchi-uki, and then look, we're going to combine the gedan barai. My left's doing the gedan barai, the right's doing the nikashi, and then look, I've got that pull and I've got the hit in one action. So look, we're here. That is combined, the gedan barai and the nigashi, and then the pull and the hit is combined. Okay, so let's try it with this way. Look, so I'm blocking, I'm combining a right gedan barai with a left nigashi, I'm pulling and hitting. Let's try again. Look, so there's the block, single arm, combine the gedan barai with the nigashi, and then the pull and the hit. So we could drill that little section, why don't we? So look, from here, all I want you to do is that and that. Okay, good. Then leave that one there, and then we're going to go that, and leave that one there. And we're going to go that, and leave that one there. And we're going to go that, and leave that one there. Okay, so let's try. Bit smoother. We're just going to do a couple of repetitions. So 1, 2, 3, like that. That one there. 1, 2, 3. That one there. 1, 2, 3. And that one there. 1, 2, 3. And that one there. Very good. Really good. So, section 1 and section 2 are woven together in a particular way that I'm going to demonstrate in a moment, but we need to drill those two sections so that our brain is sending the right messages to our muscles, so that we develop that muscle memory, if you like. Obviously your muscles don't really have memory. It's all about your brain and what it's telling your body to do. Good. Right, so what I'd like to do now is show you the final little section of Tekki Shodan. And it really begins where we finished. So we pulled in and we hit. And we have a blocking action in that direction. Palm away, knuckles towards you. And then you're looking that way. And we do a similar thing in this direction, but the palms towards you and your knuckles are away. Does that make sense? So look, let's go from here. We will be in the kata looking in this direction. The head movement in Tekki Shodan is quite important. So that block is done vigorously. Keep the shoulders down as much as you can. Look in the other direction. Twist your body. And it's a repeat. Let's practice the other side. Look, so I'm now looking this way. That's got to be done vigorously. I turn my head and do the same there. So, vigorous, head, vigorous. Very good. And then there's a connecting maneuver. So for example, look, I've gone here, I've gone there, It's that snatching down technique that we've been working on, that snatching down technique done with speed and sharpness. And then look, from here, I'm doing my kagezuki and I'm blocking. And this one is in line with my shoulder. This one is a little lower than the shoulder and finishes in line with the body. So we know when we're doing the technique correct. So from here, look, we've got that, and we've got that, and remember the snatch, and then you've got that sequence. So if we did it on the other side of the body, it's vigorous there, my head, vigorous there, the snatch, notice, looking in that direction, and then I'm punching with the left and blocking with the right. Shoulders mustn't be up, shoulders are down. That's in line with your shoulder. And this is Shodan level and in line with your body. Very good. Okay, we're going to put the whole thing together. So, this is where all those pieces of the jigsaw, if you like, must come together. So we're going to practice that now in a flowing action.